Good morning, everyone.
Morning. That might be tough.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Stockbridge Board of Assessors, Monday, March the 6th. Mike, why don't you get us started? And Doug and I are here. Tom will be here momentarily.
Okay, last meeting minutes, basically, we're gonna be covering everything that we talked about last week has been carried over except for the review of the exemptions. I still have some information to get you guys on that. We'll do that next meeting. Deed and map changes, number 2, all the deeds are done and changed on both systems. I still changed them on the old system last time because they needed to print this one report that I can't do on Vision. But all the deeds are changed. Those are going out today or tomorrow. The map changes are ready to be sent in as well. So we're on schedule with those. Fiscal year 24 forms of list and 3 ABC forms were all due last, March 1st was a Wednesday? March 1st, we did get a few requests for extensions on the 3 ABC forms, but those still have to be sent in. And we're going to be sending out reminders to the tax exempt organizations that did not file on time. Form of lists, same thing goes with that. Those are due on March 1st, and we will be resending those as well. We're still waiting for the utility form of list to come through. Those have to be forwarded to RRC for valuation. I think we got those all in. Number 4, the property sketches are now live on Access GIS. There's I don't know if you went in and looked, Doug.
No.
There's now a section where you go in for the assessment and it shows, like when you hover over a map, you put the information. When you go into the section to print the version of the property record card, there's now a separate line that says property sketch. When you click that on, it'll be a black background with the sketch centered in the middle. You can zoom in. When we did test it, because we thought if you print it, it's going to print all the black with it. It doesn't. It prints it. It's really nice. And I believe you can export that as well. There's a few more tools that I have to look at. It just went live late last week, but now all the property sketches are now online for all the parcels in town.
So, and that's
People should just look at, take a peek at it if they.
and so we only have one sketch per property card. Is that true?
That I still haven't really looked at the multiple the multiple houses on one lot or the multiple parcels on one lot. For example, the best one would be the Stockbridge Affordable Housing Complex, because we had sketches, like 15 different ones. I'm going to go and look today and see if those are all on there.
Because usually I see one photo and one.
Right.
And
yeah,
it's a little bit cumbersome. You wish you could have a sketch and a photo for every
we should, and that's what we're pushing for. And I did notice also that it looks like every night it's updating it. So it's doing that with the ownerships too, which is fine because I've made those changes already. The only issue we might have with that is when I'm working with assessments that aren't finalized, it may be uploading those on the fly, and we don't want that. So I have to there's still some things. Hi, Tom. There's still some issues that need to get worked out. I'm going to go through and thoroughly test the sketch part of it. But it's definitely a step in the right direction. And like I said, it's nice to have the updates come in overnight when we're doing our backup. But, starting in a month or two, I'm going to be starting to make valuation changes. And those are temporary until we get things finalized, late summer into early fall. And I don't want people to be printing those assessments out when they're really not official. So that is going to be a problem. And I'm sure we can figure it out. We could just suppress that field and leave it as an assessment history from last year. But that's something that they're going to have to do on their end. But at least finally, after many, many, many years, we do have the sketches on there.
So, but the property name is still off. That hasn't been solved yet. The name on the property card, that's still an issue.
Yeah, the new, like, for, like, all the deed changes that I just made, those are immediately being updated on, because I went to do a search last week for a specific property that I know had sold, so I just put in the old owner and it wouldn't come up. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I put in the new owner and it did come up. So it's made, so I finished the deeds on Friday. I imagine when it did the update Friday night, those are probably all, I'll check, but they
Okay.
should all be updated.
Yeah, we'll see if the owner's
Yep.
name is showing up in the property card, because it did fall off there for a bit.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I did send them an email about that, so they're checking into that. That should be, I think in a few weeks we'll have it all looking pretty good.
Good.
Okay, so there's exemption certificates from the ones that you voted on last week to sign. There's motor vehicle abatements that Tammy got together that are ready to sign. Tom, I wasn't sure if there was anything you wanted me to say about, or you wanted to say about update on the tax exempt pilot. I know that's moving along.
Yeah, the questionnaires have gone out or are going out going out this week, and taking it one step at a time here.
Okay. That's really it. Has anybody seen anything? No. We do have abatements to go over. There actually will be this week and the next meeting for abatements where we have to wrap it all up, because there are, we do have the 90-day time period in which these have to be all
So do you
acted upon.
just explain what the abatement is and what we're doing? Because I mean,
Yeah, so what the board's doing now is reviewing, when the tax bills went out in December, everybody that's a property owner had the chance to file an abatement. They had to be filed within 30 days, which usually coincides with the date that the bills are due. And once those are received, the Board of Assessors has 90 days from the date that the application is received to review the application and either issue an abatement or some type of an adjustment or deny the application. And that's the process that we're in our second round this week. And I'll just quickly mention that when Gary mentions the bill numbers, those bill numbers are referenced to the actual commitment book that we have in place. As far as what's open to the public, the fact that somebody applies for an abatement, that is open to the public. The actual decision in the application itself is not open to the public. So that's what the executive session from last week, this week, and the first meeting in April is covering. So I don't think we have anyone zoomed in. We have no one in our audience. If you guys want to go into,
Just one quick question.
Yep.
With regard to our next meeting on the 20th, I will be out of town. I could,
our next meeting, when is our next meeting? It is the 20th. Yeah, I'm sorry, Tom. Yep. Okay.
but if it's important, I can zoom in.
Okay.
If it's, I'll check with you. If you feel it's important, I will zoom in, but otherwise I have a pretty full day.
Okay.
yeah, we can see how the abatements go today.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, after this round of abatements, there's probably going to be 10 left to go over. And I think the final day for those will be the 17th of April. Those are the last filings that we got. So there's still time.
Okay.
Okay, folks, at this point, we're going to go into executive session. We'll leave the open meeting for the public, and we will not return after we are done with our executive session. So I would entertain a motion to close the public meeting and enter into executive session per Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A7, to discuss and review fiscal year 23 real estate abatements for the following tax numbers. The following tax property bills are 771, 853, 854, 942, 1,015, 1,024, 1,139, 1,326, 1,350, 3,306, 3,307, and 3,310.
So moved.
Second.
Second, all those in favor, Gary, aye.
Aye, Doug.
So moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.